Please welcome our Blackhawk Christian cheerleaders. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? Before we begin tonight's game, we have a presentation to make. Over Christmas break, the Braves were fortunate to play in the North Davies tournament in Southern Indiana. And Southern Indiana Fellowship of Christian Athletes presented a Character Counts Award to Blackhawk Christian senior Jimmy Davidson. The plaque is for displaying the FCA values of integrity, serving, teamwork, excellence in the classroom, athletics, and community. Please join me in congratulating Blackhawk Christian senior Jimmy Davidson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Principal Mark Harmon and Athletic Director Joel Cotton, welcome to Blackhawk Christian High School for tonight's basketball contest, featuring our guests, the Lakewood Park Christian Panthers, under the direction of head coach Mr. Tim Boss. And your Blackhawk Christian Braves, guided by head coach Mr. Matt Roth. Since we played the ladies' game first tonight, we will dispense with the national anthem and prayer, and we will begin with our sportsman creed. Blackhawk Christian School is pleased to sponsor this athletic contest. As a Christian school, we value the need for good sportsmanship and remind everyone that high school athletics is an educational event. In keeping with the spirit and intent of interscholastic athletics, we ask all players, coaches, and spectators to cheer in a positive manner for their team, show respect for their opponents, honor the decisions made by the officials, and to maintain appropriate behavior at all times, so that together we can bring honor and glory to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And now let's meet the starters for tonight's contest. First for our visitors, the Lakewood Park Christian Panthers. Wearing number 1, senior Logan Parrott. Wearing number 10, senior Mason Posey. Wearing number 11, senior Cam Hindle. Wearing number 15, junior Corbin White. And wearing number 33, junior Mason Joff. And now, here are the starting lineup for your Blackhawk Christian Braves. He's a sophomore, he stands 6'8", he wears number 4, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Pickett. Wearing number 11, standing 6'4", he's a junior, Isaac Smith. Down the block, you'll find this senior standing 6'6", wearing number 13, Josh First. Out of the wing, we have a 6'3" senior. He wears number 23, Jimmy Davidson. And your final wingman, standing 6'4", senior, wearing number 30, Gage Sakta. And tonight we have a brave for the game, Trey Butter.
Welcome back to Blackhawk Christian, game 2 of our doubleheader here tonight. Lakewood Park comes into Blackhawk Christian. Now we have the boys matchup here. Alongside Paul Suvar, I'm Brian Greenwald. Thank you for joining us here again tonight. Lakewood Park comes in at 5-7 on the season. Blackhawk Christian 14-1 on a 6-game winning streak coming into tonight's matchup. Lakewood Park will start with Hindle, Parrott, Posey, Jolliffe, and White. Blackhawk Christian with their traditional starting lineup that they've gone with every game so far this season. Lakewood Park wins the tip. They'll begin with the ball. Jolliffe on the left-hand side, short on the 3. Offensive rebound to Lakewood Park. Get the ball inside, now back out to Jolliffe. Posey with it on the outside. Posey will set things up for the Panthers. Left-hand side, Hindle. Screen set there by White. Blackhawk in a man-to-man defense. Lakewood Park being very patient with it. Three-pointer on the way. Mason Posey for 3.
That's huge for the Panthers tonight. Posey's their leading scorer. He likes to shoot from deep. He puts up nearly 7 a game for them, shooting at close to a 40% clip. So best shooter from the outside. The ball's going to be in his hands a lot, and in order for them to maintain contact with the Braves, they're going to have to see a lot of those find the bottom of the net.
Josh First on the baseline, can't get it to go. Jolliffe with the rebound. Davidson knocked it out of bounds, but Lakewood Park will keep possession. Lakewood Park comes in scoring it at almost 51 points a game. They give up 49 points a game. They'd rather keep the score low if possible.
Definitely. They are slow and deliberate. They're going to be willing to pull up when the opportunity presents itself. And that's a great sign for the Panthers. Posey hit his first 2 shots from deep, and something the Braves are going to have to make adjustments with as well, closing out a little bit harder.
Josh First tried to get it inside, but out of bounds to the Panthers. And when we say deep, it's not just a regular three-pointer. Posey's been a couple steps behind the line when he has shot those first 2 threes.
Confident and unbashful.
Out of bounds, Pickett able to knock it off the Panthers. That'll be out of bounds to Blackhawk. 6-0, Lakewood Park with the early lead. Sefton will trigger it in. Gets it all the way out to Isaac Smith. Sefton tried to penetrate. Lakewood Park was there for it, and the Panthers come back with it. Hindle has it to Jolliffe. Now White. Hindle's guarded by Davidson. Davidson went for the steal. Hindle was able to go around him and shoot the shot over Josh First.
Goodness, that was a tough shot. A little fade away from 12 feet out, close to that left-hand baseline.
Sefton falls down, but able to get it to Davidson. Smith back out to First.
Good luck.
Finds Davidson inside for 2.
Got a little scramble mode there for the Panthers, trying to find the spare man as the ball's getting reversed around. Jimmy found himself wide open under the block. Good find.
Hindle tried to go in the lane, but Smith blocked it, but Jolliffe was there for the follow-up for 2.
Really good start here for the Panthers. 3 minutes deep and already 10 points on the board. They probably did not expect this, but will certainly take it.
Sefton inside to Pickett. Pickett turns, can't get the shot to go. Jolliffe with the rebound. The outlet to White.
Ooh.
Long 3. Heat check for Posey.
Young man is not afraid of the moment. You gotta love to see that. See how the Braves respond now.
Sefton, baseline, no good. They do call the foul on the shot.
I kind of like games where the officials let the players play. They let them play through contact, and really each possession on the offensive side of the ball for the Braves, we've seen quite a bit of contact, and the officials have swallowed their whistle. I was supremely surprised if a whistle was not called on that play, because Gage was, it appeared clearly fouled, and it was a late whistle, but the right call nonetheless.
For Lakewood Park, this is probably, they circled this on the calendar.
Oh,
this is a big game for them. Not to say it's not a big game for Blackhawk, and certainly you hope that Blackhawk doesn't look past a team like Lakewood Park.
Yeah, it is probably a traditional rival for the Braves. Oh, goodness.
Nice shot there by Parrott for 2, and Lakewood Park has come out on fire. 15-4.
It's where the Braves want to live. They want to try and get Lakewood Park in an up-and-down game. Start going into transition-wise, because that's where they are effective.
Kellen Pickett for the 3 and the foul.
Goodness. All right.
Pickett able to rise up there on the baseline. Gets that 3 to go.
The line shooting 1 after a foul on Lakewood, number 1, Logan Parrott.
Logan Parrott picks up the first foul for Lakewood Park.
Kellen's so effective in multifacets of the game. He can and does slide into that kind of stretch 4, despite being that 6'8" size.
Oh, and Josh First able to swat that one away. Kellen Pickett comes back and a hard foul. Oh, Pickett is grabbing his ankle down there on the baseline. He took that one very hard as they was going up for the fast break shot. Looks like he wants to get up, but Blackhawks trainer going over to check on Kellen.
Yeah, obviously a lot of contact up top, and did not see his feet as he landed, but would not be surprised if that ankle rolled up on him.
He went hard into the wall there as well, I'll tell you. So
Yep.
I don't know if the wall caused that harm to his ankle or if it was the contact itself, but Kellen will come out of the ball game for now. Will Guthrie checks in for him, and Will step up there and shoot the free throws that Kellen was supposed to shoot.
Tough kid. Good to see that Kellen is able to walk off on his own power. That's encouraging. Might go back with the trainer and Laborde, get retaped up, and see how it feels.
Guthrie, the first one was off.
The Panthers,
Logan Gingrich checks in for Lakewood Park. Guthrie hits the second. Obviously not a moment Will Guthrie's expecting, 4 minutes into the ball game, you're stepping up to the free throw line. Guthrie, nice defensive there. Doesn't let Lakewood Park body him up.
Uh-oh.
And here's Gage Sefton with the emphatic slam on the other end.
An unfortunate save by Lakewood Park to no one. Gage alertly tracks that thing down. Punches it home.
And Lakewood Park was able to get the timeout just as Gage Sefton dives in there to try to tie up Gingrich on the pressure there. 11-15. Lakewood Park is up by 4 right now in the early, about halfway through actually the first quarter, 3.5 minutes to go. Blackhawk has been able to settle things down a little bit here in the past few possessions after a fast and furious start by Lakewood Park.
Yeah, high energy, high emotion. Lakewood Park came out on fire. Posey hitting shots from all over the floor, getting out in transition, which is where Blackhawk Christian wants to live. They want to try and push the pace. They want to try and get Lakewood Park out of their comfort zone, which is more of a half-court style of a game, slowing the game down. But to Lakewood Park's credit, they have picked up the baton here over halfway through the first quarter and have been really effective, hitting shots from deep and then getting out and pressing the pace and finishing at the rim in transition. Really impressed by them, but equally impressed by the response by the Braves. Didn't expect them to be rattled, but I'm sure they were maybe a little bit frustrated seeing all of those shots that Lakewood Park was throwing up go in. So
Yes.
they've responded back really effectively here to climb back in and be only down 4 with 3:31 left.
I'll tell you, Lakewood Park obviously came out with a lot of intensity
Yes.
and a lot of aggressiveness, and Blackhawk Christian, the last few possessions has been able to answer back to that with intensity of their own. And obviously the fast breaks and the high octane offense has really helped that. Isaac Smith tries to come down with it, out of bounds, staying with Lakewood Park as he couldn't corral that one in.
A lot of contact. Again, officials are letting the boys play tonight. They're kind of swallowing the whistle and letting a lot of contact go unchecked. So I like that with the flow of the game. Lakewood Park likes that within the flow of the game as well, as they're able to hit again from deep.
Hindle with that three extends the lead to 7, 18-11, approaching 3 minutes to go here in the ball game. Blackhawk needs to find some consistency here in the half-court offense. They've been doing a great job in the full court and in the fast break opportunities, but haven't really been able to find their shot here in the half-court offense so far.
Yeah, and they're making adjustments on the flies. Lakewood Park changes their defense. Again, more of like a 2-3 or a 1-3-1 setup there for us, trying to collapse down on first because they know Blackhawk Christian likes to establish first on the block and then play inside out. Again, effectively collapsing down on first, forcing the Braves to make adjustments.
Posey has it on the outside. Josh First is all the way out to guard him right now. I don't know that that's the matchup they exactly wanted coming out of that, but as he switches off of him now. Hindle tries to go in there. They got the fast break out to Gage Sefton, and he goes up for a one-handed slam.
Defense becomes offense. Get out in transition. Great pass ahead to get Gage in stride for him to rise up and punch it home.
Baseline drive. Jolliffe goes back up with it. I'm sorry, that's actually Hindle going back up with it. And he'll draw the foul. That foul is on Sefton. Team's first. Boy, Lakewood being ultra aggressive on the offensive boards, a place where Blackhawk normally thrives. Lakewood Park really dominating the offensive boards right now.
Yeah, they are crashing the glass. And on the season, they average more rebounds than what typically the Braves end up averaging on a game-by-game basis. I think that might be a byproduct of intense defense and trying to clean up on the defensive glass as well. But they have come out extraordinarily aggressive. Again, they are not intimidated at all by the moment right here in the first quarter of this ball game. It's a rivalry game for them. They're excited to play the Braves.
Josh first able to fight through the double team, fight through a temporary loss of the ball, gets that 2 to go. Guthrie bodies up, nice defense there by Will Guthrie. Blackhawk coming the other way. Jimmy Davidson, a floater in the lane, doesn't go. Will Guthrie tried to get it to go, he doesn't. And that'll be out of bounds to Lakewood Park. Couple opportunities there for the Braves, couldn't cash in on there. I'll tell you, one place you miss Kellen is actually on this fast break, on this full court pressure.
Yep.
As Parrott goes in for another 2 for Lakewood Park.
I tell you what, as much as Lakewood Park wants to play in the half court, they are not intimidated at all. They have been really effective in transition. As Smith rises up and hits from the corner pocket.
Josh first able to tip it out of bounds. The Panthers will stay with it. And that's an opening that Blackhawk hopes to exploit. Isaac Smith there on the 3. Isaac playing against his former team, former Lakewood Park Panther. And last year had himself a big game against Lakewood Park at their place. Will Guthrie again, a bodying up. Jolliffe can't get that one to go, and another offensive rebound for Lakewood Park.
They are sending everybody to the glass. Somebody misses it, they're going to have an opportunity to get an offensive rebound.
Jolliffe gets that one to go for 2.
Boy, really nice play by Posey, though, sliding in and then finding. Oh, who was that? Good grief. Jolliffe.
Gage Sefton able to hit the floater there for 2. 8 points so far for Gage Sefton. High scoring first quarter here, 23-20, just under 30 seconds to go. Jolliffe thought about the 3. Pendle faked the 3, went around Will Guthrie, and a nice shot there for 2.
That is crafty right there. A little hesitation, allowing the shot blocker to get up into the air and then slipping that off the glass.
10 seconds to go in the quarter. Gage Sefton tried to find first underneath. First will go into the lane and hit it for 2. And that reached the end of the first quarter. Lakewood Park with the early lead, 25-22. Obviously, a much higher scoring pace than Lakewood Park is used to. I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. They're averaging 51 points a game. They're halfway there at the end of the first quarter.
They are ecstatic right now looking at the scoreboard saying, what, 25 points? Where are we at? Midway in the third quarter? Nope. Into the first, folks. Into the first. So Lakewood Park, I'm loving what I'm seeing from them from an aggressive standpoint. Pushing the ball ahead, confidently rising up from deep, and then pressing the action. They have really taken it to the Braves tonight out in the open court as the Braves have tried to really employ that full court pressure. It hasn't affected Lakewood Park in the way that the Braves have hoped it would. The Panthers have been able to get out in transition, attack the basket, attack the rim, and then really effectively create open shots for themselves in that manner. What, 22 points in the first quarter? The Braves would say, yes, thank you very much.
Yep.
Giving up 25 is probably not what Coach Roth had in mind at the end of this first quarter.
Obviously, Kellen Pickett going down, affecting both the offense and the defense there for Blackhawk Christian. We mentioned him. He is usually at the point of this full court press. And with the long arms that he has and the ability to get up in the air, he can affect a lot of passes on the full court pressure. And then you have Josh First as a secondary person of that normally. Now Josh has to move up to the point of the full court pressure and just kind of limits what Blackhawk can do, limits the effectiveness of the full court pressure.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for the Braves again to make those adjustments, right, I need to try and dip into that bench.
Smith can't get that one to go. Jimmy Davidson there for it, and they will call the foul. I'll tell you, the officials seem to be waiting to see if the basket goes in before they're calling the fouls tonight. That one was another late call.
There have been some late whistles for it. But I like that. I like that style of play. I like it when they let the boys get out there and be a little bit physical with one another, and it enhances the flow of the game a little bit instead of having so much stoppage time due to fouls being called. But there is a limit to that. Even with the physicality of the game, there is a limit to it.
Davidson's second one is also good. Blackhawk pulls within one. Isaac Smith with the near steal, but again, Lakewood Park able to pull it out of there. They have been going after most of the loose balls, getting most of the loose balls that have been happening here tonight so far. Hindle on the outside. Hindle had 8 in that first quarter. Posey had 9 in the first quarter. That one, his first miss from three-point range. Davidson dribbles it off of his ankle out of bounds to the Panthers. Blackhawk uncharacteristic with a couple early turnovers here. Lakewood Park. For us anyway, good to see Posey finally miss one. You know.
he can. Wow, yeah.
Kendall with a long three hits the side of the backboard, and Blackhawk comes out of there with it. Sefton had 8 points there in that first quarter to lead Blackhawk. Entry pass to Josh First. He goes up and in for 2.
Strong move by First again. That's that aggressive posture that he makes. Steal as
Sefton, but again, they aren't able to come out of there with it. Posey leaves it underneath. And that shot is no good by Parrott. Gage Sefton will come out of there. Well, I tell you, Blackhawk has had their hands on a lot of balls, but just don't seem to be able to actually come out of there with them. Smith finds Sefton posting up on the smaller Gingrich. Will Guthrie, free throw line extended. That one is left short. And tracked down there by Posey.
Will's going to have opportunities as Lakewood Park shifts their focus over to First on the block. They're basically double teaming First before he touches the ball. I think Will's going to have opportunities at the free throw line.
Block shot there by Isaac Smith, but again, tracked down. Long three by Hindle. That one doesn't hit anything, out of bounds to the Braves. That's the second three that Hindle has rushed, and he will now come out of the ball game as Corbin White checks back in for Lakewood Park.
I'm sure that part of the conversation in between quarters here from Coach Roth was trying to emphasize to the boys to stay the course. Stay the course, continue to play hard. There's no way that Lakewood Park is going to be that hot all night long.
They got the foul on they got the offensive foul.
Interesting, okay.
Blackhawk foul.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Foul is called on number 13, Josh First.
Yeah, Josh First on the illegal screen.
Okay. Interesting.
At first I thought they called Gage on that, and I
Yeah.
definitely didn't see that
like,
one, but
wow,
I didn't see Josh's screen, so. But for all the everything they've let go so far tonight,
Yeah.
obviously you didn't expect that one to be called. White will dribble it on the outside, get it over to Gingrich. Lakewood Park typically only goes about 7 deep, so they've pretty much played the guys who are probably going to play tonight. Gingrich has it against Isaac Smith. Now Posey. Again, Lakewood Park content to run some clock and get a good shot. Somehow Posey again comes out of there with it. White can't get that one to go, and Smith will fight for that rebound. So many loose balls ending up in the hands of Panthers tonight so far. A wraparound pass. Jimmy Davidson finds himself in the lane. The floater is no good. And that ball is knocked out of bounds, but I think they got the foul called on, I'm not sure who. Guthrie, I believe. Yeah, Will Guthrie with his first. Timeout. Blackhawk Christian with a 1-point lead, 26-25. as both teams go into the huddle. Kellen Pickett has rejoined the huddle down here for Blackhawk Christian, but not to the point of actually going back into the ball game, but good to see him back out here in the huddle.
Yeah, certainly. Bring it back in. So a little bit more helter-skelter here in the second quarter. 3+ minutes deep into it. Lakewood Park yet to score. And Blackhawk Christian putting able to tally up 4 points on their own ledger to take the lead here for us. But I think it's a good time out by Lakewood Park to try and just circle the wagons, take a deep breath, collect yourself. Really the last few possessions they've had on the offensive side of the ball have been rush shots, hurried threes from deep that, you know what, who could blame them? They were going into the first quarter, so the assumption is they're going to continue going into the second. But I think this is a good time out for them to kind of slow down, take a deep breath, start to run their offense, and get back into their own rhythm and pace, which is more of a half-court game.
And again, going after, and Helter Skelter has been in their favor so far tonight because they've been getting all the loose balls.
It absolutely has.
Blackhawk has been doing a good job of tipping the ball away and creating loose balls, but then they have been able to corral them at most of the time here tonight. Inadvertent buzzer there, I believe, anyway. And we'll just take the ball back down here.
Try it again.
Lakewood Park triggers it in. White brings it all the way up. Parrott on the baseline against Smith. Gets his own rebound. Can't get that one to go either. Gets his rebound again. Smith blocked it from behind. Did they get Guthrie in front, or did they get Smith from behind? They got Smith from behind.
Yep. Well, I tell you, once Lakewood Park has broken the press, Parrott has not been shy about bodying up down on the block and taking that ball up to the rim. Now, he's hit a couple shots, I believe, here for us, but regardless, if he's made it or missed it, he has not shied away from the contact and the willingness to explode to the rim and try and finish in that transition setting.
Parrott's second one is long, and first comes up with it. Parrott actually leads the team in rebounding with 7.2. Isaac Smith with the corner three.
I like the sign of that right there. Good sign by Isaac, hitting a couple shots here early.
Jolliffe on the left-hand side for three. That's no good. And they've got the foul against Blackhawk. Gage Sefton on the push.
Foul is called on number 30, Gage Sefton.
That's his second. And the ball will be out of bounds underneath to Lakewood Park. The fifth team foul against Blackhawk Christian here in the first half.
Yeah, that foul on Gage against Parrott. Again, Parrott, I'm impressed with his physicality. He's not intimidated by the Braves at all. He's willing to throw his body around and mix it up.
Parrott, a double-figure scorer on the season. He's averaging 10 points a game. And I haven't seen any film. I'm going to guess he gets most of his points in that way. Kind of garbage points, offensive rebounds, finding his way down low. Just like that, another offensive rebound, this time by Hendel. He still can't get it to go. First, finally able to corral it for Blackhawk. First will go all the way, and they're going to call first for the offensive foul. That is the second against Josh First as well.
Yeah, that was backpedaling as a defender. You're really in a vulnerable position. We know Josh has a tendency to kind of dip that shoulder and pick up offensive fouls. I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that call, but
Will Guthrie with another nice defensive stand there underneath, and they're going to say that ball is off of Isaac Smith, and they're going to keep it with Lakewood Park. 29-26 our score. Blackhawk with a 3-point lead. Hendel rises up from the free throw line and hits it.
Confident stroke there by Hendel. 2 dribbles to his left, squared the shoulders up, confidently stroked that from 15.
Hendel's first basket of the second quarter. 10 points on the night. They find Isaac Smith on the baseline. That one doesn't go. Guthrie fights for the rebound, but they're going to get him on the reach-in. And that is team foul number 7.
That's his second. Team 7.
So 1 in the bonus for Mason Jolliffe.
At the line for the
6'7" junior.
Mason Jolliffe shooting 1 and the bonus.
That free throw is good, ties the ball game. 5th point for Jolliffe. Second one's also good. 6 points for Jolliffe, and Lakewood Park takes the 1-point lead with 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Davidson finds First on the baseline. First goes up against the triple team and gets the foul. Kind of a late arriving triple team, but 3 guys there nonetheless.
It's kind of incredible at times that the amount of gravity that First has while he's out on the floor. Lakewood Park is in a zone. First has it in the short corner. Doesn't immediately go, kind of surveys and sees that like there's 3 defenders kind of moving towards him, but hard dribble, jump stop, explode to the rim. He's still able to kind of get to a spot and try to finish through contact. How much respect for First there is. He's a known quantity for sure.
First hits the second. 8 points tonight for Josh. Well, that triple team is late arriving, which allowed First in order to take that dribble and still to get around that triple team because of how late it was getting there.
It's almost like a soft triple team. There's like everyone was just slightly gravitating over towards him.
Kendall a little out of control on that one. Davidson allows that one to roll around.
Finger roll, pretty move there by Jimmy, finishing with the right hand at the left side of the basket. That's a difficult shot.
Posey outside for 3. That one is off. First and Davidson fighting for it along with the Lakewood Park defender. And that ball will stay with Lakewood Park on the jump ball. Now, at first I thought it was just the Blackhawk guys fighting for it. I didn't even see Logan Parrott in there.
Somehow he snuck an arm in there to get the jump ball.
I should have anticipated him being there. He's been there the entire night so far.
He is mixing it up.
Kendall outside to White. Posey will take it with 2:10 to go. Lakewood Park down 3. Kendall gets it across to Posey. Posey a spin against Sefton. Sefton was able to come out of there with it. Josh First with the one-hand slam.
Boy, aggressively attacking the basket, getting out in transition. First was born to run. Oh, and here we go.
Sefton to Davidson for 2. Timeout by Lakewood Park. And Blackhawk using the momentum of the slam dunks and then the momentum of the the full court pressure in order to get another basket and find themselves up 7, 37-30.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what they had in mind when they've been employing the full court press all game long, first quarter, second quarter as well. Just now it's starting to pay off dividends, but you've been right. You mentioned it before. They've been close. They've been real close. There have been numerous opportunities and occasions where the Braves have gotten their hands on the ball, tipped it away. They've just been unable to corral it back in and turn it into a turnover and get out in the open floor. These last couple possessions, be able to get out in transition, get a quick turnover right here, and expand this lead to 7. A little bit more what the Braves had in mind when they've been hopefully trying to employ this full court press.
Yeah, Blackhawk likes the fast pace. They like the full court pressure. So far tonight, it really hadn't been working to the effectiveness that Blackhawk is used to. But these last couple of possessions, it's worked just the way they want it.
Keep it up.
Again,
Stay the course.
Missing Kellen Pickett on the point of that full court pressure, but that time Josh First able to tip it away. Kendall on the baseline finds Jolliffe inside for 2.
Yeah, effective right there. Again, being able to break that press, skipping that ball over the top, and as the trap came, finding Jolliffe there over the top himself, who's sitting down on the block.
Davidson tries to dribble baseline, kicked out of bounds by Lakewood Park. It'll stay with the Braves. I'll tell you, Jimmy's found himself wide open outside of three-point range a few times, but instead of settling for the three, he's driven inside instead. Guthrie finds himself alone on the baseline. Can't get that one to go. Jolliffe comes away with it. Guthrie can hit that baseline jumper. That's a good shot for him.
Well within his range. That's kind of his game, mid-range. He'll like to body you up. Oh, here we go.
Gage Sefton misses that slam dunk as that, I think, slipped out of his hand as he tried to go up with one hand. Couldn't get that one to go. Gage is very effective on the two-hand slams. We've seen that several times.
For sure.
The one-handed slam there just didn't quite go for him. The double team leaves White wide open for three. And Will Guthrie with a nice block out and rebound. Davidson spin move, floater in the lane, can't get it to go. Josh First there with the offensive rebound. Can't get it to go, but will go to the line for two.
On the season, they've got him pegged in the stats for 4 offensive rebounds a game. I think that might be a little light. I don't know. For all the games that we've watched and we've called, it feels like both First and Kellen Pickett are averaging closer to double-digit offensive rebounds on a night-by-night basis.
Gingrich back into the ball game. And Austin Shepard in for the first time for Lakewood Park. Josh First will step to the line for number 2. Tries to extend it to a 3-possession game. That shot is good. Timeout, Blackhawk Christian, 30-second timeout. 39-32 our score. Just under 25 seconds to go before halftime. Looks like we'll get Brennan Miller and Victor Hoya to check in here after this timeout. Try to avoid some foul trouble as you've got First, Guthrie, and Sefton all with 2. You don't want anybody to pick up number 3 here with under 30 seconds to go before halftime. Yeah,
the typical bench is fairly limited from Blackhawk Christian's perspective, as Coach Ruff usually goes maybe 7 deep total on a game-by-game basis, but again, with foul trouble and injuries kind of creeping into the Blackhawk Christian bench, he's dipping in a little bit further than what he would normally do, but these are great opportunities for this entire team to kind of step up, recognize what's taking place, and rise to the occasion. Boy, Brennan and Victor have put in a lot of time and a lot of effort, hard work, every single day coming to practice. That hard work is paying off right now for them. Seeing some floor time in the first half of this game.
Not a lineup out there that you would normally see on a night-to-night basis there for Blackhawk.
Not normally.
Under 20 seconds to go.
But I like it. They're kind of going 1-2-2 right here.
Green Posey goes up for 3, can't get it. Victor Hoya pulls it down with under 10 seconds to go. Jimmy Davidson will bring the ball up the court. He'll step back. He will shoot the 3 hard off the rim, no good. And that is the end of the first half. Blackhawk Christian has come back to take the lead, 39-32. 7-point lead for the Braves going into halftime. We will take a short break here at halftime. We'll be back with second half action here in just a few minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, every attention please. As many of you have seen in the comments, tonight is our Destiny Rescue Awareness and Fundraiser. There's still time to donate to the jars for seeing who gets a pie in the face after the game. For the BCS girls basketball team, your current leaders are Emma Klein and Coach Stephanie Gongware. For the boys team, the current leaders are Jimmy Davidson and Josh First. For Lakewood Park Christian girls, the current leaders are Grace Camlighter and Lillian West. And for the boys, Corbin White and Coach Hindle. So there's still time to donate if you want to try and push those totals up to see who gets a pie in the face after the game. Please give your attention We are fortunate to have Jared Ballinger here from Destiny Rescue. Please give him your attention and welcome him as he explains their cause.
How's everybody doing tonight? Okay, which side is louder? Is this side or this side? How you guys doing tonight? All right, now how's this side doing tonight? It's a tie. I can't pull sides. My name is Jared Ballinger, and I am the Director of Church Engagement at Destiny Rescue. What is Destiny Rescue? Well, Destiny Rescue is a Christian nonprofit organization that rescues kids out of human trafficking and helps them stay free. You see, this is a worldwide issue, and I was just in Africa a couple months ago on rescue with our team there, and I got to meet the girl, and she has a name, and her name is Sarah, and she was sold as a young girl into human trafficking, and she was abused every single day until our team showed up on the ground and said, you don't have to live like this anymore. What is she has a name? You've seen it out there, you see it on the shirts that maybe some of you are wearing with the blue or the orange. What is She Has a Name? Well, She Has a Name is a campaign right here in this region where students all over the region are getting involved to help rescue 100 girls this school year. Give them a hand for doing that. You see, it's important that we, as children of God, as body of Christ, rise up to end human trafficking, especially right now in this month. It's worldwide awareness of human trafficking, and we need to put an end to it because there is over 1 million children living in human trafficking, the nightmare of human trafficking. They are living in that right now. And let me tell you this, and this better get everybody's attention because this is heartbreaking. The youngest that we have rescued that was actively being abused was a 2-year-old boy. That right there should make every child of God angry enough to do something to end human trafficking. And my job is to go around the United States and share about this, share about Destiny Rescue. We do rescue Sundays at churches all over the nation. And I get to see church bodies rise up all over the United States for girls who don't have a voice right now for themselves. And we get to rise up. When the body of Christ rises up, children find freedom. In 2022, Destiny Rescue rescued over 3,100 individuals. Would you give them a hand for that? That's 3,100 individuals. It's exactly 3,144 individuals that are now on a path to freedom to live a life that is not in human trafficking. So the She Has a Name campaign, 100 girls this school year, $150,000 to rescue 100 girls, and these students are doing it. You should be proud of the students in the United States, but also the students right here in this region. They're doing this campaign for a student initiative that Destiny Rescue has called Rescue Op 120. Rescue Op 120 is every student in the United States gave a $20 bill, one-time gift of $20, it would rescue over 1 million children, which if you heard me a minute ago, there is over 1 million children right now living in human trafficking. So my friends from the She Has a Name campaign have blue buckets, and they're going to pass that around here in a minute. And I encourage you, do what you can to help put an end to human trafficking and sexual exploitation. These children need the body of Christ to be their voice. So they're going to be passing these buckets around in just a second. And there's also the booth out there. Make sure you donate to who you want to see get a pie in the face. That's always fun to watch that happen. But thank you so much for joining the fight to end human trafficking. I believe we can do it. We can be, as the body of Christ, the forefront to end it. Again, my name is Jared Ballinger. If you have any questions, please feel free to come out there and talk to me. It's been nice getting to talk to you. Have a great rest of the game. Nice meeting you guys.
Welcome back to Blackhawk Christian, getting ready for second half action as halftime winds down here. He scores 39-32, Blackhawk Christian with the 7-point lead. Alongside Paul Suvar, I'm Brian Greenwald. Thanks for rejoining us here tonight. Blackhawk able to win that second quarter 17-7 to get themselves back into the lead by 7 after Lakewood Park came out a house of fire at the very beginning of the game. Blackhawk able to settle down, play more of their game, get the inside game going with Josh first, and really kind of started to pull this game open just a little bit.
Yeah, without question. They ratcheted up the defense and tried to kind of put the clamps on the half court and then create turnovers with that full court press, what kind of led to some easy transition baskets for them as well. But you couldn't be more right. The Panthers were a house on fire in the first quarter. Scored 25 points. It didn't seem that they could miss if they wanted to. But like I said, we started to talk about it a little bit. I'm sure the message that Coach Roth told his squad in between the first and second quarters was stay the course, believe in the shooting percentages, that they're going to come back to earth a little bit. And we kind of saw that take place in the second quarters. Blackhawk Christian a little bit more effective in the half court and with the full court press.
We got the jump ball there underneath that will go to Lakewood Park as Sefton not able to get the reverse layup to go. Again, part of the big news out of that first half, Kellen Pickett, after going up for a fast break layup, landed awkwardly on his ankle. He is not back in the ball game, has not returned since then. Obviously a big blow to Blackhawk. As you mentioned, not a very deep bench. They only go 2 deep normally. Will Guthrie has gotten a lot of playing time in the first half. Obviously he's back out there here in the second half. And I'll tell you, Will has done a very good job, especially on the defensive end down here.
I agree. Able to use his physicality, strong base, try and root that offensive player off of their spot. Really effective. Oh, goodness.
Great layup there by Mason Posey, who was held scoreless there in the second quarter after a hot start.
That was a circus shot by Posey. Again, dipsy doodle, and almost like a hook shot as he was fading out, able to kiss it off the glass. Good grief.
Sefton on the right-hand side gets it over to Davidson.
I think it should be noted, too, again, with the bench situation, normally Aiden Muldoon would be coming off the bench, first guy off the bench for the Braves, but he's been sick all week long, and they made kind of a coach's decision to not play him tonight to try and give him a little bit of extra rest. So that even limits more so where the bench would normally be another weapon that Coach Roth can dip into.
Sefton drives into the lane, leaves it for Davidson, reverse layup for 2.
Aggressive move right there by Gage, getting the ball into the lane, and then Jimmy reading his teammate well, slicing. Gage able to find him for that reverse layup.
Jimmy Davidson into double figures for Blackhawk with 10 points.
Goodness.
Posey for 2. He's in double figures with 13 for the night.
The difficulty of that shot was about a 9.5, folks. Looked like there's a little bit of contact and able to fade to his left and still able to get enough on that shot.
Davidson short on the 3. Guthrie was there to fight for the rebound, but pulled out of there by Hendel. We mentioned it earlier. Davidson has been left alone out there at three-point range. They are daring him to take that three-pointer.
He's very capable. We'd love to see that. I mean, even just to respect him. Throw a couple of those shots up so you create a little more space down the block for first.
Posey was looking to take Josh first one-on-one. Jimmy Davidson ran out for the trap. Hendel hits the 3. He cooled off a little bit in the second quarter, but brings it back here in the third.
Goodness, third quarter starting as the first quarter began for Lakewood Park. Everything that they're throwing up is finding the bottom of the net.
Hendel also with 13 points. Davidson tried to leave it for Guthrie, couldn't. An offensive foul. Hendel ran into Isaac Smith. The officials said that Smith was in position.
There have been a couple of questionable offensive fouls tonight. That's so hard as a defender. Credit Isaac Smith for sprinting back and trying to get himself back and put in a position to make it be a difficult call on the officials. But boy, when you're backpedaling, it's hard to get that base set up.
Blackhawk Christian with a 2-point lead. Josh first with his first touch of the quarter. Out of bounds to Lakewood Park. He did not have the angle to make that pass down to Will Guthrie.
It was almost a soft triple team. There were 3 bodies, one right on first and 2 others that were shading towards him. He was trying to find Guthrie down on the block, just a bit errant on that pass.
Sefton able to tip it away for a moment, but Posey regained possession. White on the right-hand side. White not been much of a scoring threat so far. Davidson playing off of him. They get the ball inside to Jolliffe. A double team comes there.
Ooh.
Little elbow action there by Parrott, nothing called. And White dribbles it in there for 2. His first bucket of the ball game.
And then all of a sudden,
tie ball game. Double team against first. He's able to go up and in for 2.
Again, patience of first, the physicality of him, knowing where he can go.
Sefton able to pick that one off and go up for 2.
First tips the ball. Sefton, the recipient of that steal.
Guthrie was all alone back there for a moment, but they get it up ahead to Sefton. Sefton will go up against 2 players, gets his own rebound and goes up for 2.
I love it. Defense turns into offense. We've seen that the last 2 possessions for the Braves. Goodness gracious.
They're letting them play. Parrott very, very physical out there, but as you said in the first half, they are letting him play, and Parrott obviously a very physical player for the Panthers.
He is not shy about mixing it up with anybody and everybody.
White gets it into Parrott. And they've got Gage Sefton, I believe, on the foul there. And yes, that'll be number 3 on Gage.
It was a bit of a story in the first half for the Braves. A minor bit of foul trouble that they were dealing with. Gage picking up 2. I think first he had 2 as well in the first half as well. It'll be interesting to see how they navigate this. 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. With Gage picking up his 3rd, he's still probably in pretty good shape.
Parrott, that one bounces off. Parrott, a 58% free throw shooter on the season, so 57% overall as a team, but he knocks that one in. 6 points for Parrott tonight. Blackhawk with a 5-point lead. Gage Sefton on the right-hand side. Guthrie comes out for the screen. They find Josh first on the baseline. The spin move, he's up and in.
Nice patience there on offense. Screen set up top, allowing Gage to dip in there. Ooh. Yep.
And Blackhawk ball, as they say, that goes off of White. Nice pressure again. The long passes allow Isaac Smith time to recover and get in there and tip that one away. Gingrich checks in for Hendel. And Blackhawk will have possession and a 7-point lead. Both the bigs come up top there for Blackhawk. Sefton tries to drive all the way, tries to leave it for Smith because he had nowhere to go. He got up in the air and didn't have any kind of outlet to go to.
Yeah, kind of got hung up there, indecision. I think he was looking obviously to score himself, but hoping for a cutter to kind of bail him out there. Oh, goodness.
Gingrich gives it up to White. White leaves it for Posey. Posey looks for the penetration. Leaves it out for Gingrich. Posey leaves it for White. Gingrich over to Posey in the corner. No good. Davidson comes down and starts the break for the Braves. Nice body control by Davidson as he goes up for 2.
That is the key right there, the body control to slide and avoid the contact. They're calling charges tonight. Smart move by Jim.
Davidson picks up his first. His second, I guess. I only had him for 1.
Okay.
Starting game action for the Panthers, number 11,
Cam Hindle checks back in for Gingrich. Blackhawk up 9. We have a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Up to White.
Oh,
Sefton takes it right away. Ahead to Josh First. He tried for the slam and no call there. Smith goes back down inside to First.
ooh, yeah.
Lots of hands in there on First, and he will get the foul call.
Foul number 10, David.
Fouls on Posey.
That's his first.
That's his first.
Josh
Josh First will step to the line for 2. Nice recovery on that play as, again, another slam dunk attempt. Just, the ball wasn't there for him.
Yep, went awry a little bit, but teammates able to corral that in, skip it over to Smith, and Smith alertly recognizing that First only had at the time, 1 man on him.
That one now not good, but Davidson there for the rebound. Isaac Smith open for 3.
Big shot right there. Isaac Smith sets the feet, about 3 feet behind the arc. No problem with that range. Ooh.
Sefton tips it, but Posey gets it. Lakewood Park with the advantage on the numbers. Jolliffe in the corner for 3. That one doesn't go. Sefton gets it ahead to First. First with a 2-hand slam. Posey back on the other end for 3. Smith comes out of there with the board. Sefton on the fast break to Will Guthrie with the layup for 2.
The pace quickens. Advantage Braves.
Cross to Posey. They got Jolliffe open underneath, but Posey tries to take it in himself instead. And the foul there on Will Guthrie. I'll tell you, he had the 6'7" big man all alone on the block there.
Number 25,
Goodness.
Will Guthrie.
Guthrie picks up his 3rd.
Second foul at the line for the Panthers.
I guess his 2nd. That's the one I missed earlier. Posey hits the first.
There's a blink of an eye. We were at 41-41, and all of a sudden the Braves hit the accelerator and creating some turnovers, getting out in the open court, hitting some shots and establishing First on the block, and able to balloon this lead down to 15.
25 seconds to go in the quarter. Sefton will bring things up for the Braves. Now we go to 20 seconds. Sefton with 15, hands it off to Davidson. Back to Sefton. First was looking for the screen. They get it down to First under 10. First, they're going to call him for the walk. Coach Roth will get Brennan Miller off the bench. They'll go in for Sefton. That way Gage doesn't pick up number 4.
Smart substitution.
6 seconds to go for Posey. Volleyball line off the back rim. Davidson tracks it down. And that's the end of the third quarter. Blackhawk Christian 59, Lakewood Park 44. Another high-scoring quarter there for the Braves. They were able to outscore them 20-12 to extend that lead. The halftime lead was 7. The lead is now 15. Big quarter there for Josh First with 7 in that quarter. Mason Posey had 6 in that quarter for Lakewood Park.
Well, they kind of started off pretty hot there in the third quarter as well, trimming that lead to 0, able to tie it up, knot it up at 41. But from that point forward, again, we really saw the focus and determination of Blackhawk Christian Braves be enacted. Really a force of wills of sorts, right? Getting First down on the block, running, going, established, using his physicality to start to expand that lead, and then really seeing that press continue to start to pay off dividends, staying the course, trying to force Lakewood Park into a faster pace, which they're traditionally not comfortable with, at least not with this squad anyways. Able to see this lead extend out to 15 here going into the fourth quarter.
The Blackhawk Christian same lineup back out there. Will Guthrie out there for Blackhawk Christian, again replacing Kellen Pickett. Lakewood Park back out with the same lineup as well as we begin the fourth quarter. Gage Sefton tries to go all the way in. They're going to get Mason Posey for the blocking foul there. That'll be Posey's second foul.
Number 10.
It's the third on Lakewood Park.
Number 30.
Sefton will step to the line for 2.
Not terrible defense there by Posey. Again, sliding over, trying to stay in front of Sefton. But just really creative and physical offense by Sefton, taking his body and running it into Posey, kind of forcing the action of sorts.
Sefton hits them both. 14 points for Gage tonight.
Ooh, look out. Oh, goodness.
I'll tell you, Parrott always able to corral the ball, always around the ball. He's able to track that one down.
Another one of those examples where the Braves got their hands on the ball. It seemed to be an errant pass.
And they're going to call Lakewood Park on that foul. And it's White on the foul.
After foul on number 15, Corbin White. That's his third. Returning to the action for the Logan Gingrich.
Gingrich is in, White is out for Lakewood Park. Sefton with the one-handed floater in the lane. Jimmy Davidson with the board. Tries to find Josh first and up and in for 2.
I like everything about what was happening right there. I think that the recognition that Sefton had a smaller defender on him, getting him the ball immediately on the block, that's a play that typically Gage is going to finish, you'd say 9 out of 10 times.
Sefton reaches in there, but it's going to be called for the foul. That is number 4 on Sefton.
Blackhawk foul number 38, second. That's his fourth.
You already mentioned it, a little bit lighter bench than normal with Aiden Muldoon out sick, so Brennan Miller will come back into the game, replacing Sefton. And Gage will sit out for a little bit here in the fourth quarter with that 4th foul. Posey on the outside. Jimmy Davidson now draws that assignment. Hindle with first on him. And they're going to get Josh with the foul on the block attempt there. For Josh, that's his 3rd. I'll tell you, for the officials letting them play, the foul trouble is starting to rack up.
Yeah. It's the physical nature of the game at the onset is really kind of leading into this continued physicality, and the officials are calling fouls at this point in the game.
Oh, Josh first almost picked up number 4 there. Logan Parrott, always around the ball, finds himself there again for another 2. Davidson drives in, leaves it for Miller. Davidson baseline 3.
Jimmy's a good shooter. Might look a little unorthodox, but he's really effective when he has his feet set. He's got to build that confidence, trust that shot. His teammates will find him.
30-second timeout for Lakewood Park. 66-49, extended to a 17-point lead for the Braves. I mean, we've mentioned it. Jimmy's been left open there in that 3-point range, and that time he started to drive in, realized, hey, I'm open. Let's give this thing a shot.
Yeah.
And he bounced back to the 3-point line, fired it, and hit it. Jimmy Davidson, probably out of necessity, but he's really stepped up his offensive game tonight. He's got 15 points.
Without question, boy, he's effective. Mid-range is where he's primarily most comfortable with, but he has that outside shot in his arsenal. And in that situation, his defender was literally going back and guarding Josh first. So he was being double teamed before he even touched the ball. Jimmy wisely and adeptly stepped himself back out, set his feet, and stroked it from deep. If he can become more consistent with that, at least keeping the defenses honest, now all of a sudden that turns into an entirely different dimension that this offense can throw at you. You have to respect the outside shot at that point.
Posey with a pull up, in and out, no good. Isaac Smith pulls down the board. Davidson to Smith, back over to Davidson. Isaac Smith fires the three from the corner.
So smooth. Again, that is moving towards his left right there. Simple handoff.
Jolliffe can't get it to go.
Good grief.
Parrott again, and they're fighting for the rebound.
Wow. A lot of heart from the young man.
Don't come out of there.
A lot of contact from the young man.
Yes.
Blackhawk fouls on number 5, Brennan Miller. That's his first.
Brennan Miller picks up his first foul. White checks back in for Gingrich. A non-shooting foul, so out of bounds to Lakewood Park. Parrott will trigger it out to Posey. Three-pointer from Kendall.
Solid stroke, pin down screen from Parrott. Ends up freeing Hindle from the right corner pocket. Love it.
Davidson in the lane with the floater.
Yeah, that is where Jimmy is comfortable. 10-foot, little floater game for him. Really, really effective.
Defensively, with Gage out of the game, he's picked up the assignment of Mason Posey. Hindle drives into the lane, right into Will Guthrie. Nice position there by Will, but Hindle able to find it again for two.
Connecting again. We saw in the first half, continues in the second here. Lakewood Park likes to crash the glass.
That bounce pass hits out of bounds before it gets over to Guthrie. Out of bounds to the Braves.
Returning game action for the Braves, number 3, Victor.
So Blackhawk, Victor Hoya will give Will Guthrie a break. Guthrie certainly playing a lot more than he's used to. I'll tell you, a lot of physical contact there on the inside, and Will Guthrie not afraid of any of that.
Absolutely. Strong young man. Well established down on the block.
White with the dribble, gets it to Posey. Jolliffe comes out for the screen. Now alone inside for two. Jolliffe finds himself in double figures with 10. 15-point lead for Blackhawk, approaching 4.5 to go in the ballgame. Josh first down on the block, finds 3 Panthers around him, and they call him for traveling. The official, I think, wanted to say something to one of the Panthers about celebrating that call too much, but he wasn't able to, and he'll just continue play instead. Posey will bring it up for Lakewood Park. We got Hindle coming around for the 3. Brennan Miller stays with him. Find Jolliffe on the baseline. Outside, Hindle for 3. That one's off. Josh first corrals it for the Braves. Davidson lost control for a moment. Finds Brennan Miller. Now Smith outside. He'll slow things down. Hoya provides the screen but doesn't see the ball coming. Hoya, nice pass to Josh first underneath for 2.
Found him first, down on the block. Always the right choice.
Yeah, a situation there for Hoya. He's in the ball game, varsity time. He wants to get his points, but he's able to make the right call and finds first there on the baseline for 2.
Absolutely. Wrap around, great find by Victor.
It was kind of a forced short bench, or forced longer bench, I should say, for the Braves tonight. But I'll tell you, it's valuable for these guys to get some more time in here because you don't know what the rest of the season's going to hold here.
Without question, yeah. Getting these guys valuable experience out on the floor, meaningful time. We saw tonight the unfortunate event of Kellen Pickett going down with what we hope is only a sprained ankle. You never know, right? You never know with those things. The more experience these guys have in live game action, and the more prepared they're going to be able to step into those roles and effectively fill those gaps.
Victor Hoya, top of the key. Head 3 is off. First almost came over the top there. Luckily, no call there. Posey in the lane, and they'll get Davidson there on the call. For Jimmy, that'll be number 3 for him.
Foul called number 23, Jimmy Davis. And
That's smart offensive play by Posey. Ends up getting Jimmy on his hip a little bit and then jumping into the body. And now releasing. It was almost a hesitation of sorts as Jimmy went up to try and block the shot. He hesitated as he brought that back down, kind of creating that contact. Posey's got to be tired. Tell you what, he's bearing the brunt of the offensive load for the Panthers.
It's his first point of the quarter, 16 on the night. 16-point lead for Blackhawk, just under 3. Brennan Miller thought about the 3, didn't take it. Smith gets it back out to Miller. Now across to Davidson. He will pull up for the 3. That's no good. Miller comes down hard, and they will get the Lakewood Park foul there. They got Cam White, or Corbin White on the foul there. Number 4 for White. 16 foul for Lakewood Park. Next one will be the bonus for Blackhawk. They get the ball right into first. Now Davidson will back things out. Again, they just don't guard Davidson on the outside there, especially when Josh First is on his side. And Blackhawk able to pull it back out.
Pepper, they've got the luxury of the clock on their side here, up by 16.
Yeah, Blackhawk doesn't have to be in any hurry here. If they're not going to guard Davidson, they can just hold it out there.
Yeah, just continue to hang on to the ball, be strong with it.
First finds Davidson. Davidson calling for the ball back. He finds First down on the baseline. First up and in for 2. 25 on the night for Josh First. 18-point lead for Blackhawk. Lakewood looking to get the ball inside. And they're going to get that foul on Parrott, I believe. That's his fault. 35, Austin Shepard back into the ball game along with Logan Gingrich. As White and Parrott both check out for Lakewood Park. With a minute and a half to go.
Where that turnover was created by Isaac Smith getting his hands in the passing lane. Ballooning that ball up in the air, looked like it had a parachute on it. And boy, when you're Josh First and you're 6'6" and you can jump out of the gym, you're probably going to get to that ball before any of your competitors are.
That second one is good for First. 20-point lead for Blackhawk. Minute and a half to go in the ballgame. Hendel with a nice move in, just can't get it to go. Victor Hoya with the board for Blackhawk. Smith will get it to Davidson. I don't feel like Davidson had to do anything with it out there because they weren't really coming out.
They're sagging so far off of Jimmy.
And with the 20-point lead, Davidson could just hold it out there. Now he's got Gingrich out there on him. A little floater, good for Davidson.
Wow, pretty move again. Mid-range floater game by Jimmy Davidson on display.
Posey, nice drive in the lane for 2.
Yeah, good play by Jimmy to not foul. I mean, even in that situation, just give up the layup to keep the clock running.
And Blackhawk will hold on to things here. 25 seconds to go now. And Jimmy Davidson will hold the ball out here with 15 seconds to go. And we're under 10 seconds to go now. And And that'll wrap things up. Blackhawk Christian 79, Lakewood Park 59. Another 20-second or 20-point quarter for Blackhawk there.
Yeah, consistent. Outside of the second quarter, it was 22, 20, 20, and 17 in the second quarter there for it as well. So consistent. Again, I think the idea and the thought for the Braves after the first quarter, I'm sure that Coach Roth was telling them, like, listen, they're not going to shoot 30-foot shots all night long and see them go in. Staying the course, committing to playing hard-nosed defense, getting out in transition, and eventually they're going to crack. And I think that's kind of what we saw tonight as well. The pressure that was so close to being effective in the first quarter, as Lakewood Park was able to break that pressure and score in transition, started to become more and more effective after the first quarter elapsed. Second quarter, they started to get the turnovers. Third quarter, fourth quarter, they started to wear down Lakewood Park bit by bit, piece by piece, being able to expand that lead until ultimately, like you remember, the third quarter, we're talking about a game that was tied, knotted up at 41 apiece. Now all of a sudden here by the end of the game, the lead is ballooned to a 20-point win for the Braves.
Prayer circle out here, as has become tradition here at Blackhawk Christian. Always good when you have a fellow Christian school here to participate in it with you. Good to see Kellen Pickett out there as part of it there as well. Obviously that ankle bothering him. We'll find out more about him before Tuesday night's matchup with Bishop Dwenger. Coach Roth leading both teams in prayer. And that prayer circle wraps up there at half court. Mutual respect from both these teams. We called it a rivalry game, but these guys know each other really well, and they've played against each other for years, and a lot of respect between all these guys out there in the middle of the court. Now, at some point tonight, I believe we're supposed to have a pie in the face of some of these players. That was part of the fundraiser tonight for Destiny Rescue. One girls and boys player from each team, I believe, will get a pie put into their face. And again, I don't know where that's happening, and we have not gotten the final voting results, so I don't even know who's leading. Jimmy Davidson and Gage Sefton were the leaders for the boys at halftime that they announced anyway. So we'll run down the final scoring here for both teams, starting with Lakewood Park tonight. Again, 59 points for Lakewood Park. I mean, that's 8 points over their average. They started out even hotter than that. Obviously cooled off a little bit in the quarters after that, but they had 4 guys in double figures tonight, led by Kim Hendel with 19 points, Mason Posey with 18, 10 points for Logan Parrott, who was just all over the place, had his hands on the ball every single time he looked up. 10 points also for the big man Mason Jolliffe, and then 2 points also for Corbin White to round out the scoring for Lakewood Park. For Blackhawk Christian, led again by the big man, the senior Josh First. Big game for Josh, 27 points for First tonight. That comes off a 29-point game, I believe, last time out. So Josh First really stepping things up when it counts here in the last of the season. He was followed by Jimmy Davidson, the senior, with 19 points. And you just kind of felt that when Kellen Pickett went out of the game, Jimmy Davidson felt like he may have needed to step up the offensive game a little bit more than normal. And he did.
Absolutely. Jimmy has that capability, that capacity to be a scorer. It's just he more often than not is trying to fill in the gaps on this team. He's fulfilling a role that's necessary, doing the dirty work, distributing the ball, rebounding it, and when his number's called to be able to step up and shoot the ball, he's a willing offensive player for the Braves. Again, another weapon for Coach Roth to depend upon. And we saw that tonight. Again, the senior recognizing that massive void that is being left by the 6'8" sophomore, Kellen Pickett, someone had to step into it, and Jimmy was more than willing and capable of rising to the occasion.
After that, it was senior Gage Sefton with 14 points. Gage had 8 of those in the first half. 12 points for Isaac Smith. And the model of consistency, 3 points in each quarter on a three-pointer in each quarter for Isaac Smith tonight.
I love Isaac. Again, it's another one of those situations. You talk about roles and fulfilling roles. Isaac knows his role, and he plays it to a T. He's an outside shooter, maybe 1 or 2 dribbles at most, distribute the ball where he needs to, but he's a floor spacer, and he does it extraordinarily well. A tremendous asset for the Braves this year.
Again, Isaac, on the season so far, has still only attempted 2 two-point field goals in the entire season.
That might be the craziest stat I've heard since I've been a Blackhawk Christian. That is absolutely wild.
I mean, I would love for it to stay that way for the season, just to have that unique stat.
That is absolutely wild as we look at these young people take pies to the face for the cause of Destiny Rescue. I love it.
Yeah, for Lakewood Park, I know one of them is Grace Camlighter, their point guard. I know she's one of them out there. For Blackhawk, it's the senior Billy Hosier, obviously one of the more popular players on the team. And then the assistant coach, Coach Staten, I believe is the other one out there who took the pie in the face for the girls. We'll find out the results of the boys' fundraiser here in just a few minutes. Rounding out the scoring for Blackhawk, 4 points for Kellen Pickett before he went out, and 3 points for Will Guthrie. I'll just mention Will right now. Will played a great game and obviously increased role that nobody expected. With Aiden Muldoon out, maybe he would have come in earlier, maybe not. But with Kellen Pickett out, Will Guthrie was needed. He was called on in a big role. And yes, offensively, the 3 points, it's 3 points that we needed, but it was the defensive side of things where Will really stepped up and didn't let anybody bully him, held his ground like Will Guthrie always does. And I think he played a really good game defensively for us.
I could not agree more. Yeah, Will Guthrie pressed into action. Always prepared. I mean, that's kind of his MO. We know and can expect that from the young man. When his number's called, when the bell is ringing, he's going to step up and perform to the best of his abilities. And tonight, extended minutes with the injury to Kellen. As you mentioned, Aiden kind of being out tonight with illness. Fulfilling that role. You're absolutely right. Defensive positioning, defensive rebounding, being at the right spot at the right time, giving Coach Rock a lot of really good minutes tonight.
And, we'd fail to mention Brennan Miller and Victor Hoya also playing, more minutes than they are used to. And they played a big role out there tonight as well. They kept guys out of foul trouble. Only had a couple minutes really for each of them. But while they were out there, they stepped up. They stepped into roles. And again, those two guys, they may not have expected to play a major role in what was a closer game for most of this game here tonight. But they were able to step up. And, anybody on Coach Roth's bench should be ready to play at any moment of time. And tonight really proved the importance of that.
Without question, yeah. Guys are ready. They put the work in. They're ready when their number's called, and we saw them be extraordinarily effective tonight. Really good game by the guys who are typically cheering on their teammates. They're getting out there, getting some significant minutes themselves.
So again, 79-59 is our final score tonight. The girls' game, Blackhawk Christian came out with that win as well, 47-36. For the boys, Lakewood Park falls to 5-8 on the season. Their next game is next Thursday night at home against Woodland. For Blackhawk Christian, they're 15-1 now. They extend their winning streak to 7. And Tuesday night, we have a home game against the Bishop Dwenger Saints, who just pulled out a big win against Bishop Lures last night. So Bishop Dwenger always tends to play Blackhawk tough no matter what the records show. And certainly we would expect that again on Tuesday night. We will be here for that action for you. So Tuesday night will be our next game here as Blackhawk starts to wind down its season heading into the South Adams sectional. We have 4 more home games to bring you here at Blackhawk Christian. So
it goes so quick.
It does. The girls, again, we'll mention they are hosting the sectional, so I'm sure they'd love all the support of everybody there as they only have 2 more games left in their season before they begin sectional play right here at home. So for Blackhawk going into sectional time there for the girls. So we'll wrap things up here, and we'll see which boys get their pies in the face. I don't really know because they're still in the locker room, so we don't know yet.
They might be casting lots or rock, paper, scissors to figure out who's going to get there. But.
Yes.
But partner, you happen to have a birthday yesterday? Is that right?
I might have.
You might
I have.
29?
Oh, I wish it was 29, yes.
Well, happy birthday to you. I thought I saw or heard that through the grapevine and wanted to make sure that the listening audience knew about that, and when they track you down, they can wish you a happy birthday as well.
Well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. So we'll wrap things up here tonight. Thank you very much for listening. Again, with Paul Suvar, his wife Nicole on camera. I'm Brian Greenwald. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you back here Tuesday night.